Okay, today is March 21st, 2022. It is 10:30 p.m. right now. Well, 10:36 as you see, but I am doing this YouTube channel just kind of as a way, well, you know how in stressful situations people talk themselves through it and it helps them tend to perform better. That's kind of what I'm doing here with this. And hopefully you guys can learn something along the way, and hopefully I can learn a little bit from myself as well. So, I'm just opening up TradingView now. Also, just by the way, throughout this, if I don't talk a whole lot, that's really just because there's nothing to say at that time. Yes. Let's open up Binance as well. I do have two monitors. I've got, we're on the right side right now. And so you probably can't see, but Binance actually did just open on the other side. I will pull it up, as you can kind of see. But anyway, let's look at Bitcoin on the daily. So it seems to be doing a little bit of sideways action right now. Got a little bit of a trend line coming up here. I trade supply and demand, as I think everybody should. Anybody that is successful, to say the least, has some degree of supply and demand, or knowledge of it at least. I think that it is very important for everybody to learn supply and demand if you want to be a successful trader. Maybe not necessarily marking out the zones. I'm sure other people use other strategies that are successful that aren't marking out zones, but personally I think that I like to mark out the zones. So we got a daily demand zone over here, or a supply zone, sorry. I kind of use these lines as more of like where I think it'll stop within the zone, but it's not a guarantee. You never know. As well as here's the 4-hour demand zone. I trade kind of a form of breakout trading from either a trend line or just on itself. Like for instance, if I pull this up here and just kind of show you. So right here we have a bit of sideways movement on the 5-minute chart, and then it kind of comes down and breaks down. I would have entered a trade actually down here as it broke below here. Whether or not it works is really just in the eyes of however it works, I suppose. Chances are that isn't going to work, and the reason for that is because, well, we kind of got a demand-ish area down here, and we kind of got a supply-ish area over here. Now, I don't know why that. So we kind of got that. When I'm on a smaller time frame, I don't actually like to use the rectangles. I'm just using that as a way to show you. I actually like to use these lines here, and just to remember that it is an area and less of a solid platform. Although I like to use it as close to solid as possible. So we can kind of see that the higher it gets to a supply area, the more likely it drops, and the lower it gets to a demand area, the more likely it rises. Not to say that it can't break out, totally can. So we're kind of in sideways action. So right here, I actually do kind of expect a bit of a continuation upward, even though that I said that there's a breakdown here. With other analysis, that is proven wrong. So that breakdown here, I don't think will happen. Could happen. Never rule it out. But chances are it won't. So why am I not getting in? Well, because it's kind of right in the middle. When it's in the middle, you don't know if it's going up or down. That's a general rule I like to stick by. Yes. So as it comes up here more, maybe I'd get in short. But this is also Bitcoin, and when you're trading high leverage and you're really just scalping, I'm kind of a scalper as well, you pay a lot of fees. So I actually like to trade a lot based on volatile coins and whatnot. So so I like to just see what's moving hard one way or the other. Nothing's dropping too hard. I mean, it's new day UTC time, at least. Or fairly new, so nothing's moved a whole lot yet. But a 7% move on GMT upwards. I was trading this earlier in the day. I had some pretty big losses. That's another thing with this channel. I will be showing everything. If I'm losing all my money, you'll see it. If I'm gaining a bunch of money, you'll see it. I am by no means a phenomenal trader. I've only been trading for about a year, and only within the past 3-4 months have I been getting very into it. So GMT here, it's had a lot of movement upwards, you know, as Philicone, or Philicon, I don't know how you pronounce it really. He's a YouTube channel, great trader. He likes to use the Elliott wave theory. Kind of got, 1, 2, and then 3, 4, possibly 5. And so kind of from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can actually, there is something in here for that. Oh, I got it right on the end of there. That's new. That I put there. 3, 4, 5. And this seems to be A. Tends to be like an A, B, C, where it kind of goes down and then up and then farther down after the 5th wave. Again, it's not always a thing, but it tends to. What I'm also seeing here, supply and demand wise, there's not a whole lot of information. GMT is a fairly new coin that's been listed on Binance. So if I actually pull up another chart here, let's see how old GMT is. On KuCoin. That's not the right. I don't think it is. Stefan Tether. Let's look at BitChat. Let's see if that's much older. Oh, it's not. Let me pull up something over here, and I'll show you what I'm doing actually. Go to market cap. Really great to just kind of get on and look at certain coins. GMT. I don't know if you see it, but my nose is being all flickery. No idea why. It seems to be. Oh, it is Stefan. Okay. Green Metaverse, is that right? 86 cents. Let's see. Yeah, about right. 86.5. Yes, perpetual. Oh no, it's a spot. Oh, that's a different platform. That's why. Let me just close that tab out. All right, so 87 flat. Why is this one off? This must be. Oops. Must be lagging, I suppose. Anyway, so if we do some quick calculations here, pull up a calculator and go market cap divided by volume. I know down here it says volume divided by market cap, but market cap divided by volume is actually the network value to transaction ratio is what it's called. And so basically what you're doing is you're taking the value of the network or the market cap and you're dividing it by the transaction ratio, how much money and liquidity is actually in the coin or token or whatever the hell it is. But so market cap divided by volume is network value divided by transaction ratio or transactions, and it's a ratio. So yeah, anyway, that's not what I have to do. geez, that's a really low NVT. Yes, that's actually quite low. 0.22, very, very low. If we look at like Bitcoin, for instance, not TC, Bitcoin, we actually do that same thing here. Market cap tends to be higher than volume. If volume is higher than market cap, I mean, that's really a crazy thing to see a lot of the time. I mean, it's a pretty new coin, just listed on Binance at least. So who knows, but just to give you a rough idea of what an NVT should look like. I think that's what it was. It doesn't have to be perfect, like it's not an exact calculation, but 31.61, it's actually quite low right now for what Bitcoin's been at. Fairly recently, I haven't done a lot of this in a while, but if I go to, I think it's under this one here. I'm just giving a minute. Yeah, so I made up these spreadsheets on Google Docs, Google Sheets, sorry. And you basically just go into CoinMarketCap here, and you can just go to the historical data, load it up, pick your date range, whatever you want to do. Copy, paste that into here. It'll actually paste from there to there. I like to just kind of have some conditional formatting on this, really just because it's nice to see if it's gone up or down or it stayed about the same the day or day before. So anyway, you can put your ATR numbers in and all that. I go by the daily ATR and the daily RSI as well. And so then you got the open to close change percent, and then you got high to low change percent. And so we had a 0.1% change. This would be back February 13th. So this will kind of give you an idea of what it was at one point, the NVT and everything. So, that's just kind of how that all works. Don't worry about these calculations. They're not really proven. They're just kind of calculations I've come up with my own. And I'm just keeping track of them just to see how they go, I suppose. But with a network value to, I can't remember what NVS stand for. Well, NVV is network value to volatility. This is network value to strength. So basically it's got to do with, you can look at it right here. So we go, NVV, this would be this times this as a percent. So, so this times this, I think, times L4, yep. Okay, yeah, so this times this as a percent, of course, so you go like, it doesn't show it up here that it does it, but because it's a percent, it will automatically do it. But you just go this divided by 100, and then this times this divided by 100. Or like, divide this by 100, this times, basically, this times 0.0494 equals 2.68. Anyway, and then this one here is 04, so this would be the NVT divided by 2, just to kind of make the NVT a little bit less prevalent in it, because I like the strength to be a little more prevalent in this situation. And then you times it by I4, and so that would be the RSI. Again, you times it by it as a decimal, not a percent, because the RSI is actually a percent that goes between 0 and 100. And so you divide it by the decimal, of course, same with the APP. This would be, I'll explain that in a second. And then you add back what you divided. So you just take 04 again of the NVT divided by 2, and then add it back to the initial number, which, anyway. APP, this is H4 divided by E4, so that would be this number here divided by the close of that day, looks like. Oh, yeah. This is the... Okay, I was confused for a minute. I haven't, as you can tell, I haven't looked at this stuff in a while. This is the last one I did back on February 23rd, is the last time I edited it. So that's just about a month ago now. Last time I even looked at this. And so the AVP is basically just what it's the ATR, like the average true range is percent of the close price. And so it's $2,000 is only 4.94% of 42,197.52 cents. Anyway, so then over here a bit more is the NVT. We can actually look at the NVT there. You look at it with the colors and everything, kind of get your brain used to it. But hard numbers over here. Okay, the NVT. There is a correlation between it. Like the lower it is, price tends to rise. If we actually look at this, I mean, it didn't work out so great here, I suppose, but in general, in theory, that's how it's supposed to work. I can actually show you on the chart. So you just got to remember that basically high volume and low price equals a high NVT number, or low NVT number, sorry. And so you want a lower NVT number. Let me pull up Bitcoin real quick, and I can show you so many examples of that. Bitcoin is just the most relatable. I can show you on many other things. Tesla, even, like if you're talking about the stock market, you can look at it through Tesla and you can see that it's extremely true. I mean, they don't really have the same type of NVT ratio numbers per se, but So if we go back here, lots of volume here. It tend to actually hold its volume really well. You can go back even further and look at it still, but it held its volume pretty well over here, which is just like a signifying people are getting in. People are starting to get interested in Bitcoin again. Back down when it was $8,000 in May or April-ish of 2020. As well, you can see volume starting to pick up here again. NVT ratio is getting better. So good thing NVT is for is you can actually see here price was rising, and volume was also rising at the same time. And so you're like, okay, but price and volume is rising. That's kind of normal in a sense, but you got to look at it in the way of here. Well, technically here was really like the highest average volume, but it was picking up so much here and price wasn't going up as fast. Like if you actually do the calculations, you'll see the NVT ratio was quite low around this area. I keep pointing to it without my mouse and you guys can't see that, but and so you can see that price picked up even more. NVT ratio was probably a little bit higher over here. This can be NVT ratio probably picked up a little bit more over here, and then actually picked up a lot over here because you can see volume actually ended up dropping at the top here. And if you look at the NVT ratio, you can see as the NVT ratio, is picking up, like it's like the numbers are really high. I think it was something like in the 60s around here, I want to say, if I remember correctly. And then it dropped. And you can even see back here again, after it drops, NVT ratio is quite high. Volume's actually higher than it was when it was up there. And so that's a very good signifying reason for it to come back up. To me, what you can see actually just on the RSI, it's not exactly a divergence, but you can see this, like this high to this high is not the same as this high to that high. So it's not a direct divergence, but it's definitely something you can take into consideration, and not even just on the daily chart, but on the 5-minute chart, 15-minute chart, 1-minute chart, they all do have their differences though, all the charts. That's such a common myth that they're all the same. They really aren't, because more people are watching the daily chart than they are the 1-minute chart. Just like more people are watching the 15-minute chart than the 5-minute chart, and so the 15-minute chart's going to have more of a strength almost over the 5-minute chart. Just like the daily would have more of a strength over the 4-hour chart. In general, at least, not always, but in general, it's a safe assumption. And so anyway, you can actually see that volume didn't really pick up here at all. I'm actually surprised it came this high at all. I think it was really just all the hype. People were like, oh yeah, it's going 100K. It wasn't. It could. I think it definitely has the possibility to go to 100K, but market cap would have to be quite high, volume would have to be quite high, and anyway, 100K way up here. I don't think we're quite in reach of that for at least a couple more years. Maybe the next Bitcoin halving, it'll be in reach of that, but not anytime soon, in my opinion. Although not everybody's opinion, or not my opinion's not always right. So NVT was very high around here. It was even lower than it was here. Like if we look at the average volume, we'll go with like the tip, which that would be the lowest average volume tip. It was right around 60, like 65K, we'll call it 65,000 singular Bitcoins were traded in that day, and right around here is around 48,000 singular Bitcoin traded on that day. But it was higher, so that's in its essence kind of a divergence as well. Even though it's not the RSI, but it is an NVT divergence. Something I totally just came up with on the spot there, actually. But anyway. But again, we can kind of see down here, volume's very slightly picking up. I think I'm quite neutral on it right now. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if it's dropping. I don't know if it's going up. Might even just continue consolidating for a while. But that's okay because I don't really like trading Bitcoin. I just invest in it. So I guess it does matter. I want it to go up, but anyway, let's actually go 4-hour chart here. We'll continue analyzing this. 4-hour chart in Bitcoin. Nothing special. Let me just get rid of that. Nothing special, not really many trend lines we can do. I guess we could call that one, but yeah, that could be called one. I like to trade the EMAs, like the Fibonacci ratio EMAs as well. That's kind of off of Philocone as well. I really do suggest his channel. He's one of those YouTubers that doesn't really bullshit you. He doesn't post a lot because he has his own Discord community and his own courses and everything. And like, why would he post a lot if he's this uber successful trader? Like the more people win, the less he makes money. So anyway, yeah. Which is also a good thing to keep in mind when you're listening to other YouTubers, not calling anybody out at all, by any means. There's tons of great YouTubers out there, but keep in mind that the more money you make, like you personally and everybody else, the less money they make, right? Because it's trading is a zero-sum game. And so it's in their best interest to actually falsify information to you, to tell you stuff that may not be fully true. So just kind of keep that in mind, I suppose. Anyway, so I guess this could be a bit of a trend line here. Even within these two areas, I'm quite neutral. Down here, I was actually kind of bearish. I mean, it was hanging around here a lot, like very much like an equalized price area. But it had a lot of price action down here, and it bounced around a lot. Anyway. So I'm really waiting, I'm waiting to kind of see if it breaks above this kind of area. And if we go even smaller, like hour time frame, kind of see here, I'm waiting for a bit of a break on this triangle. I think it's going to the upside from here at the very least. Just ascending and descending triangles do not mean if it's breaking to the up or downside. I'm only calling it a break to the upside because the 4-hour chart is where this trend line is. I mean, you can put it on the 1-hour chart as well, but it's like it is the 4-hour trend line, where this here is only like, I think it's more of a even smaller than 30-minute. It's like a 15-minute, 5-minute line, so I think it's breaking above this. Probably not going to be very violent, but anyway, 30-minute. Nothing special, just about the same as the hour. 15-minute, I'd even say just about the same thing, just kind of sideways, and yeah, and the 5-minute. And as you can see, it did actually end up going upwards. It seems to be stalling a lot over here. Again, if you take supply and demand into consideration, this would be a good exit. It may continue going up, but you're seeing this like this high, like this is supply. You know, this is the supply area. Right here, like hold on, let me mark that. Like this is a supply area. That follows across. Right, so that follows across. It doesn't have to be. It could be here. It could be here. It could be there. It could be here. Hell, it could be there. You know, and I like to put it normally right around there, like on the bodies of the candle. And so you see that this here is having resistance, and not resistance, supply. Like people are actually selling, not just any like resistance. People are selling here. People are taking profit. And people are actually getting out. And so to me, if I was in a long here from here, I'd be out. This would be my exit. It could continue going up. You never know. But yeah, you take the profits while you have. Oh, look at that! Just as I say that, it just shoots right up. And that sometimes happens. Like you might have missed a huge move like this, but you're really, really better off taking profit beforehand. Wow, this is a big move. Huge, actually. This is a giant. You'd be lucky to catch that. Let me see if there's any news. One thing I've always learned, type the full thing on when you're looking for news. Nothing really here. Let me look at Cointelegraph. If you guys have any good news sources for crypto, let me know, because I don't. As you can see, Cointelegraph is quite a lagging news source. But, like, literally, I suppose. Not actually. They're great, but I just mean the postings and everything. Sometimes they're a little bit slow to post. Not on them. I mean, look at all the graphics they do and everything for it all. But regardless, so if you have any good news sources, let me know. Anything? No. So I mean, this could be. Or well, it's definitely a real move. Look at the volume on that. That right there is. Like over 1,000 Bitcoin traded just right on here. If we actually look at Binance here, go into the futures, pull up Bitcoin. If we look at the order book, a lot of supply coming up. Like there's 100 Bitcoin up here. It's probably gonna have a little bit of a slowdown here, like a little pullback. That would actually be good entry. Again, I'm not gonna do it because I don't really like to trade Bitcoin on futures or anything. I just last week I was, but not anymore. I've come to new terms with I shouldn't be trading things that'll cost me half in freaking fees. And not that Binance is bad in fees; they're actually phenomenal. But yeah, see if I order. A lot of people selling here, but the buyers seem to just kind of be eating it up a little bit. I mean, it's pulling back, of course. Tell you where I think it will stop. Fibonacci retracement, great for this. I think it'll stop right around here. And if it doesn't, I think it'll probably just pull right back down. 41,505 or so. And nah, she's coming back down in my opinion. And we'll see if I'm right. Well, we'll look back on this in a little bit. I don't feel like just watching it. So back to GMT. Hourly on GMT. Have an obvious trend line starting here. Try to get your trend lines as perfect as possible. I mean, you can only get it so perfect, but if it's off a little bit, like price actually comes down to here, especially like on a smaller time frame either than the 1 hour. If you're like this, price here, I'll even mark it out actually. Price might be, well, let me do it a little bit bigger, I guess. We'll go right right from the bottom of it. It's not close enough. Not close enough. I think that's... Yeah, that's close enough. Oops. Don't know what that was. Let me see that actually. Screen... Oh, yeah. That's what I use to screen record. If we go down to the 5 minute, you can actually see how... No, that's not right. 1 minute. It's not gonna show. I was like, what the heck? Interesting. Oh, here. 5 minute, you can see pretty close. Now if I do this, and actually put the trend line where it should be, right around there. Oh, of course not. Well, it's not so bad, but you know, it is still quite a bit off. Like, if you do end up seeing it break through, like that could be the difference between a breakout or not, you know? So it is important to get your trend lines almost perfect. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but close you can get it. Anyway, back to the analysis on this as well. As you can see, I get off track a lot. May or may not be detrimental. Well, you can actually see back here as well. I had this trend line on the top here. I was trading this earlier. I lost a lot of money on Ocean today. But anyway, I was trading this as well. I made some good money on this one. Down in perspective, I'm a fairly small trader, you know, nothing huge, but I was down about $60 today, which was a bit of a hit in the heart, but anyway. So as you can see, we had this. If I actually go to a replay, like right around here, we can see that, I mean, obviously we know what's happening and where it's happening at that, but let me just take that away then. So it's not very completely fair, but, you know, if we kind of see this, good way to get in, you know, this would be somewhere where you'd be wanting to look to enter. You know, we're at a spot, like there is something here. We're kind of low, so, you know, it's kind of long biased, but you never really know. It could be something, you know, this could be a little descending triangle here. And so you're kind of seeing a little bit of a breakout, but you don't know if it's fake or not, so you just wait. And on top of that, you don't know if it's even pulling back. So you see this, huge, right? A lot of people want to jump on here. Not the best thing to do, especially as a scalper. So you wait for that. Do you just wait for that? No. You wait a little bit more. And you can see it's going higher and higher and whatever. You kind of wait for the pullback. Like a full pullback. Not just like a single candle pullback, but like a couple candles. And then you want to wait for some sort of, oh, it's coming back up. In my opinion, that's not, oh, it's coming back up. You know, sometimes it is. Not that specific candle, but, you know, that, to me, still not quite. And the reason I say that is because I never actually broke the top of here. Sometimes I like to narrow it down to even the 1 minute. So I'm looking for really a break of this for my full trade. Like if I was gonna more, like not scalp it, not swing trade, you know, just like day trade it, I guess, or just like hold it a little bit. But as a little scalp here, I'm kind of long biased. I'm closer to here. That like pull back on that line, I suppose. I might even wait for the touch of the line, but if not, you know, there's the touch. It's kind of seeming to come back in. Could have been a false breakout. Yeah, that's what you might be thinking, which is great. You didn't enter long here, because if you entered long over here, I mean, you'd be down. Nothing crazy. Like, you're not being stopped out or anything, but, you know, you're just holding it way longer than you have to. Which plays with your emotions. That's my biggest issue right now, is emotions. My trading skill, I feel, is quite well. It's just my emotions. And you see those ads all the time, like, oh, trading with emotions, blah, 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 blah. But in reality, it, like, that truly is an important factor. If you are not top-notch on your game, emotion-wise, you're not going to do well trading. And that is something you need to know. You know, so I'm looking for here. Right now, I'm looking for a long on a breakout of this candle. See, that was a breakout, but it was a very strong candle. Like there was, in comparison, you always look at volume. If you're looking in comparison, you can look at past while, or you can look at the candle directly behind it. You never look just 2 candles behind it, or 3 candles behind it, or 4. You always look at the candle directly behind it. In my opinion, again, all my own formulated opinion, you look at the candle directly behind it, or you look at the series of candles. You don't just look at like this candle, be like, oh, well, it's lower compared to this one, or lower compared to this one. You compare it to the average of it, or the moving average of it, candle before, or the whole series of candles. Anyway, so that's not something I'm trading there, still not coming, and there we go, we got a break of that. Now my stop loss, I like to set it at the low there. I don't set a take profit. This might be an issue with me, I don't know. I'm looking for my take profit area, first one, here. I know that's only 0.76 reward to risk ratio, but I'm not looking to get out here. I'm looking to, if that's my like, oh, the trade's not going right, if it just starts turning around up here. So we got that. That to me, that's a candle that's not very strong. This might even be my exit point. For the sake of the video, I'm gonna hold it though. And so we got a lot of strength coming through here, and we got a big pull down. That's huge. That's like, if I'm not gonna lie, that's my exit. I'm broken even on this trade now. And we got another pullback onto this line. That's somewhere where you could trade. You could get in pretty small. I might get in pretty small here to the long again. But you also don't just want to blindly long it, right? And so, I mean, it is still following this line. If I see a break below this broken trend line, that's where I'm probably not looking to long anymore, and I might even take a break from this coin because I want to reformulate some opinions, in a sense, instead of looking at, you know, the charts, I guess. So we got that. That's a pretty big move down. I'm thinking a break of this is my stop loss right now. That's where it's not even. A break of this, I might even add into my trade. A break of this, it's a successful trade in my opinion, and we got that break, so boom. So now again, I'm at a 2 reward ratio right now, 2.06. I am seeing this as an area of supply. I am. So I could expect a little pullback. I might even take some profit out here, and if the pullback is successful, then I might add back in. And there's that pullback, and there's a harder pullback. And we had a break again of that. And so now we're back in this area. To me, demand came in quite quickly down here. It's kind of following a bit of a trend in a sense. I don't really like the word trend. I really don't, because it's like people use it as like, oh, trend lines, you know, and trend lines are kind of just bullshit, in my opinion. I mean, like, I love trend lines, as you can see, I use them, but the way that people use trend lines a lot of the time isn't right. Like, you gotta look at them in a supply and demand aspect. You know, you can't just look at them and be like, trade them blindly. Basically, a lot of people trade them blindly. That's what I'm trying to get at. So we got that. I might be taking a little bit more profit here. I definitely added some down here. And boom, we got the full break. So this is no longer a supply zone. I don't see where it could stop except for here. And I was wrong. So it's slowing down here. I am looking, yeah, so I was going to say I'm looking for a break of these top wicks here, which we had. My next area of take profit would be up here. And that didn't work out yet. If I get a break of this kind of slope upwards kind of thing, like that, I'm probably out. And that's out. So I'm out of this trade. That was a good scalp for 3.66 reward to risk ratio. You know, I probably, well, I don't know how much I would have made on that, but a fair amount. So I'm looking to get back in. I might be going short here because I'm kind of at the top. Well, not even the top, more in the middle. Price action's been hit before here. You can see it lines up quite well with all this. You know, if I see valid reason to get back in long, I might If I see valid reason to get in short, I also might. Mind you, I'm on the 1 minute chart here. See, that's actually a very possible short. I'd have a very tight stop here. I'd have it probably to there, maybe even less. And this isn't working out. I'm going to give it one more candle. Alright. Nice. Alright, so I'm still kind of in a demand area now. I'm kind of looking to start to get out. Yeah, and I'm out. I have not looked at this before. We will be doing live trading next video. I just want to kind of show you what it's all about anyway. That's backtesting. Backtesting is super important. Anyway, if I actually get out of the replay, sometimes I get a little bit lost in this type of stuff. It's already been, how long has this video been going for? Doesn't tell me. Interesting, okay. Anyway, this software is actually pretty good. Got it on the Microsoft Store for pretty cheap. So, right now I'm kind of seeing the B wave. Remember how it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B. Don't know where it'll end. It might even end here and come down for the C. Kind of looking for a short. This is on GMT, I believe. Sad that I don't know. I'm going to pull up. I'm going to have this chart on the off screen, but I am looking at the 5 minute chart on here. On here, that is the 5 minute chart I'm watching. And on Binance, as you can see, I've only got 232 in this futures account. 20 times leverage and whatnot. This morning, I had like 290, brought it up to 350, I want to say, and then my emotions got the best of me, and I just lost it, lost a lot of my profit from earlier. Oh, she froze. Oh, there we go. Alright, so this could be A, B could be here, and I wanted to see B kind of hit above this in a way. But I don't know. Anyway, so what I could be looking for here, if I bring this a bit more here, I like to look at this just for some basis. I don't really use it as my solid trading. You can see down at the 8607 area. Okay, this is way too. So I want to be looking at the, what do you call it, like a percent of a cent, the 10% of a cent. 10% of a cent. Anyway, so we got a lot of demand kind of down 849 area. Demand really starts picking up. We got right around the 860 area. And that's actually right where we are basically. And it kind of continues down to the 859 area. 859 would be here and up. 858, that has some. Then we kind of start losing the demand a little bit. Kind of up until 854, which would be, again, this kind of area. Supply, I'm not really looking at supply. I'm kind of looking for a short here. It has been trending upwards for the past while. It has. If you look at the 4 hours, useless to look at on this. But if you look at the 4 hour, you can see it actually has been trending upwards. 1 hour is a little bit better. You can kind of see if this is the 1 and this is the 2, this 3 might like be giant, and I'm telling you, freaking huge. And then 4 and then 5. But I don't know. I don't know how the Elliott wave theory works much with coins that are just listed. Anyway, so I guess this is kind of the testing of that. You can also just kind of see this order book on the bigger scale over here. If you want to zoom out and everything. Wait, how do you zoom out? Maybe like this. Oh, no, that's zooming in. How do you zoom out? Alright, anyway. Doesn't matter. I don't really use the depth much. So this is what I'm seeing on my other chart right now. This is a hard one. I might not trade this at all, actually. It's kind of just being a little funky. Just got a notification. Alright, doesn't do that on this. Binance is kind of weird in that sense. If you just scroll wheel on here on TradingView, I'll show you. It'll actually like collapse it slower, you know, like just like if you do it here, I guess here even, but it doesn't work on here. Really, if I'm gonna be trading this, I really want to see it pull back right here, and I want to see it go sideways a little bit and drop. That's what I want to see. But as it currently is, I'm probably gonna stay out of this GMT for now, and we will see what happens. Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin's doing. So yeah, no, I wasn't really right on what's happening with Bitcoin. It seems to kind of be almost formulating like a very sharp triangle with a symmetrical triangle. I thought if it didn't, that 618, yes, I was right the first time, 618 mark was broken, I thought it would just fall through. But I guess it kind of stopped around the 5.5 or so. Maybe even the 3 too, it was there. Anyway. GMT. Alright, let's pull up. Let's go into here. So we got, what is KNC? KNC is frickin' ripping. I love this. Oh my gosh. Look at how this moves. Like, not a lot of side. Oh, wow. Once she's going, she's going. Like, if you start seeing this, you can almost just get in and ride it. I like that a lot. Like, look at Bitcoin. That does not happen. I mean, it kind of does a little bit here and here, but like, that seems to just be like such huge. Maybe it's just that. No, I don't know, honestly. I mean, look at that. That's like $3.37 all the way down to $3 in the span of, well, you know, like 6 hours. That's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man, I'm putting this on my watch list. What is KNC? I'll do some research on that later. Hey, perp. Oh, they do. Nice. That's sweet. Yeah, this is really nice. Hourly look the same? No. But it does. It just looks so flowy. Like, this looks like such an easy kind of, not easy, I shouldn't say, but just like very nice. Like, the volume comes in waves. Like, very, very wavy. I don't know. That must be something to do with the coin. Like, there must be. Just a beautiful chart. Very artistically charted. Anyway, we're kind of in a supply area around here. I'm kind of short biased on this right now. This Kyber network or Cyber network, I think. Let me pull up this again. Let's go on to the Kyber network crystal V2. This is a token. Tons of well, not tons, fair amount of volume. Not even $1 billion in market cap. How old is it? Came out January 1st. Oh no, that's not that's not how that works, is it? Seems to have come out July 28th, 2021. So it's not too old. It's really just so odd. It reminds me of like a bot trading almost, but like predictable bot trading. I'm definitely gonna be trading this. Okay, what is this? Kyber network is a hub of liquidity protocols that aggregates liquidity from various sources to provide secure and instant transactions on any decentralized application. The main goal of Kyber, I'm calling it Kyber, Kyber network is to enable DeFi, dApps, decentralized exchanges, and other users easy access to liquidity pools that provide the best rates. Okay, so that basically, liquidity pools. What exactly is a liquidity pool? Liquidity pools are pools of tokens locked in smart contracts that provide liquidity in decentralized exchanges. Okay, right. So kind of like a staking in a sense, I imagine. I don't know much on that stuff really. All transactions on Kyber are on-chain, which means they can be easily verified using any Ethereum block. Explorer projects can build on top of Kyber to utilize all the services offered by the protocol, such as the instant settlement of tokens, liquidity, aggregation, and a customizable business models. Kyber looks to solve the liquidity issue in the decentralized finance DeFi industry by allowing developers to build products and services without having to worry about liquidity for different needs. Okay, utility token. It is the glue that connects different stakeholders in Kyber's ecosystem. Yeah, I still don't really know what this is. I mean, I kind of do. I get the gist of it. Okay, so it's the first tool that allows anyone to instantly swap tokens without the need of a third party, like a centralized exchange. I see. So, like, but how would that work? I guess that's what this was saying, wasn't it? Anyway, I don't really, I can look into that a little bit more, but I don't feel like doing that all now because I'm sure you guys probably already know what that means. Yes, I day trade crypto for the most part. I get into Forex a little bit and I get into stocks a little bit. I want to get into futures a little bit as well, but I mainly day trade crypto. We'll be doing some live trades next time for sure, but yeah, today was more just kind of introducing the channel, I suppose, and can introduce myself a little bit. You know, I am 20 years old. I live in Canada, New Brunswick, and my name is Tyler. Yes. So, something that can benefit me and you is a really great investment, in my opinion. Could be a total scam. I don't think so though. ENS, Ethereum name service. Did some research on this, not a whole ton, but I've done some, and I do have some investment in this. From what I'm understanding, this provides a possibility to, you know how wallet addresses are like these long chain of numbers and letters and all that stuff. Well, it seems like that ENS has a possibility to be able to compact that into a much smaller name that people can either just remember, or the possibility of even you creating your own name kind of thing, like a password or like a username in a sense. Not a password and username, but just like a name, like a username. Kind of like how a password, when you type it in, it actually like decrypts itself or encrypts itself into like this long chain of, like, you put in the letters like THBN87Y kind of thing as your password, and it turns into like a 40 digit long decryption, basically. Like, you have to guess that decryption in order to actually get into the password. So it seems to almost be doing a similar thing, where it's almost like decrypting or encrypting the wallet ID. And so it seems like it's very promising. I don't know exactly. Well, here, I can just read this out to you. ENS is a distributed, open, and extensible naming system based on the Ethereum blockchain. ENS converts human-readable Ethereum addresses like john.eth into the machine-readable alphanumeric codes that you know from wallets like MetaMask. The reverse conversion, associated metadata, and machine-readable addresses with human-readable Ethereum addresses is also possible. So it almost seems like it like can compress your wallet into something smaller. It almost makes the barrier of entry from um, uh, like a new trader or a new investor or whatever, to somebody new into like Bitcoin, that long wallet address can be a little intimidating, you know? Like not like literally, but it's definitely one of those things that just kind of makes it like, oh, well, this seems a little off in a sense. Like it's just one of those things missing. You know, like if your username and you were assigned a username for your computer, would like that's a little different, right? Like if your computer was just like G18X, you know, I mean that's cool, but it almost just feels like too, like it doesn't feel personal enough. You know what I mean? And so I feel like this can make it feel a little more personal. And so it's definitely a possibility. It's a good investment. I mean, it doesn't seem to have taken off crazy amount, but if we go back to like NVT kind of stuff, if I pull up ENS over here, where is it here? Go to the daily. It's kind of like ICP where it actually started out quite high and then just fell flat on its face. But if we look at the volume again, volume's picked up a lot comparatively. Like it's actually back to where it was around here, so we can see it. I expect to see price right around this range again. I got a pretty good amount of money actually into this. Nothing crazy, like I'm not gonna get rich if it goes up. Well, I might actually, but I'm not gonna get like crazy rich if I get up here or anything. Not rich, definitely not rich. But anyway, I really think that it's got some good possibilities. And it's a good investment, and if you guys get into it and it tends to go up, I mean that helps me because we're all on the same side here. We're all longing it, unless you short it. If you shorten it, then you're just hurting yourself. I'm just joking. Anyway, yeah, I can see. Gotta look into this a little bit more, but anyway, that's gonna be the end here. I don't know if I just stopped the video. No, don't think so. That's gonna be the end here, and I will probably post this soon or later if I even post it. It's just nice to be able to talk and kind of know what's up in a sense. Yes. Anyway, have a good night if it's night at what time you're watching this, if you're watching this, and have a good morning if it's morning, or afternoon if it's afternoon, or have a good rest of your day.